Encounter is brought to you by the Broome County Council of Churches, where we connect compassion with needs as we inspire growth with dignity. You'll find us in special places throughout the community. For those who remain hungry, we provide meals. For those who are challenged, we build wheelchair ramps. We comfort those who are ill, minister to those who are confined, and we remain an advocate for change and understanding on behalf of every element of our community. Connect and inspire. Encounter the Broome County Council of Churches.
Good morning and welcome to Encounter. I'm host Dave Alexander. Today my guest is Matthew Williams, who's the program director at Skylake. Welcome, Matt. First, tell us a little bit about yourself and your position at Skylake.
Well, first off, thanks for having me. A big shout out to all our Skylake fans out there this morning, up bright and early and listening to us on the radio. And of course, I am the program director at Skylake. I had the privilege of overseeing all the programs that happen year-round at our camp and retreat facility out in Windsor, New York. So we do a lot of programs, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but we're a 900-plus acre kind of wilderness camp and retreat facility located far enough away, but close enough that you can get to us quite easily.
Okay, now you're located, I know the address says Windsor, but you're really past Damascus, right?
We are. We're kind of out in the hills of Windsor.
Okay.
But only located about 4 miles from the Damascus exit on Route 17/Interstate 86.
Okay, now who owns the property?
The property itself is owned by the Upper New York Annual Conference of the United Methodist Church, and we also run programs on behalf of the conference. Okay. So for those who aren't United Methodists, our conference is a bit like a diocese in the Catholic or Episcopalian traditions. So.
Now, I'm assuming Skylake's not the only camp and retreat ministry.
Nope, we are one of 6 camp and retreat facilities in Upper New York. Upper New York kind of encompasses all that is north and west of the Catskills. Okay. So we have Sky Farm up on the eastern side of the Adirondacks. We have Camp Aldersgate and Retreat Center up in the western side of the Adirondacks. Okay. We have Casawasco, which is located on beautiful Wasco Lake. We have Camp and Retreat Facility Asbury out on Silver Lake, and then Camp Finley out on Finley Lake. Okay. In far western New York.
Now, you're full-time staff. There's other people that are full-time
We
staff?
do have year-round staff that are, we have some great housekeepers, Kathy and Lisa, and if you happen to call us on the phone, you're apt to get Jenna, our registrar and guest service coordinator. We also have Dan and Bill, who are our fantastic maintenance guys who keep our roads clear in the wintertime and looking great in the summertime. We also have Kevin, our head food service director, who prepares some delicious meals, able to accommodate a lot of special diets and just some delicious food that comes out of that kitchen, and most of it from scratch too, which is those fresh potatoes. You just can't beat them. Right. And then Jim Krager, our executive director.
Okay. Now, is Skylake, I'm assuming, is open year-round?
It is. It is. Even in the dead of winter, we're alive. So it's a great opportunity for families and individuals to come and use us. We do some of our own hosted retreats. And then we're also open to church groups, we're open to family groups, and to any civic nonprofit organizations.
Okay. Now, you don't have to be Methodist necessarily to attend Skylake, is that correct?
You do not. We actually have a substantial number of non-United Methodists who use us for various retreat and day meetings. We have a substantial Roman Catholic population of guests that come and use our facilities for confirmation retreats, for adult gatherings, those sort of things.
Okay, maybe you can, I know you brought some pictures with you. We could show the pictures and kind of tell us about some of the camps that are going on this coming summer.
Certainly. We have a variety of camps available for a large number of...
okay, maybe first open house, I guess, because that's on first. Maybe.
Yes, open house, May 18th, just a few weeks from now. Okay. We have a great afternoon of exploring all that is to be explored about Skylake. Okay. So whether you want to come play Gaga Ball, a great game that's kind of a take on dodgeball, but a little more gentler. or you want to play 9 square in the air, kind of the 21st century version of 4 square, or you want to take one of our rowboats or kayaks out on the lake for a little jaunt, you're more than welcome to do that. We also have a delicious chicken barbecue that afternoon. That is the only thing that isn't free about the day. And so we invite everyone to come up and visit us and to see what all Sky Lake is about.
Okay. Now, prior to that, well, I guess we'll look at, you have a picture. This has to be one of the camps, I'm assuming?
This is one of our traditions at Sky Lake is to go out for a floating meal. We encourage cookouts, and one of the cookout options is actually a floating meal where you either have some cold cereal and bagels, or as this group did, those of you who are on the radio, you won't be able to see it, but they're enjoying a nice breakfast sandwich floating meal out on the lake in our rowboats, and so that's a great time.
Okay. Now, prior to the open house, there's a work day coming up, right?
There is a work day. Actually, next Saturday, May 3rd, we have our annual volunteer work day, and that's for basically anyone who wants to come and help us clean up from the winter or work on some projects that are kind of on our wish list to do. So it's one of those where families and individuals of all ages and abilities are more than welcome, and you get a free lunch, prepared by Kevin and our food service team. And so we have some gardening projects, we have some woodworking projects to do, some minor repairs, some painting. So whatever your ability or your desires, we can pretty much welcome you and accommodate you that day.
I know it's to me it's a very rewarding day. I've been part of it for the last few years, just going out. I think we've built benches, we've worked in the cabins, did a lot of landscaping and moving mulch and stuff. So it's very interesting that you're doing this stuff, and you go in, everything's kind of, all the dead stuff from the winter and the leaves, you're raking it up, cleaning it up, and by the time you leave, it just like transformed the camp. It's amazing.
Sky Lake is always a beautiful place, but it's made more beautiful that day by all the volunteers who come up and help us.
So anybody, that starts at 8:30 on that Saturday?
It does start at 8:30. But we welcome anyone who isn't that quite of an early bird on a Saturday morning who wants to show up, maybe 9:27. You're more than welcome to come and kind of join in on the fun as you arrive.
And I know in the past you've had, at least 5 tables with projects lined up, and you actually can pick a project out that you feel comfortable doing. So
Absolutely.
It's not like you have to try to something, and there's so much to do. So
it's kind of a choose your own adventure.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we can show another slide of some of the camps. I know you do various things, special camps.
We do a number of special needs programs in the summertime, and also we do a special needs winter retreat as well. One of our philosophies is that camp should be for all. And so we try our hardest to make sure that our friends with physical and developmental delays are welcomed at camp. And so we run 2 classic special needs camps, kind of for moderately functioning individuals who live at home or in a group home. We do a session for persons with physical impairments, so they're welcome at our Helping Hands camp. And we do a buddies camp and a friends camp, which are kind of the same things for higher functioning individuals who either can live on their own or do live on their own and need minimal assistance with daily living skills.
Now, I know this year, and I'll hold up the brochure, and you can call Sky Lake, and they would assume we'll send one out to you if you wanted.
We certainly will.
Now, I know something brand new in there. There was a thing called a 3-tiered pricing system.
We do have a tiered pricing system.
You can explain that just a little bit?
One of the great things about being in the United Methodist denomination is connectionalism. And so we've drawn on ideas from our sibling camps all over the United States and really around the world. And several have implemented the tiered pricing plan. And so our Tier 3 is the same price as our camps last year. So we give families and churches the opportunity to pay that. But also reflective of the actual cost of camp, we go up to Tier 2, which is about $50 more.
Okay.
And so individuals can choose that. And then if a family or a church is able to, they can also select Tier 1, which is the true cost of camp. And that's $100 over Tier 3.
Okay.
And with that being said, we do have a substantial campership fund. And again, our philosophy is that no one should be shouldn't come to camp because they can't afford it.
Okay.
We have funding sources to provide for all who need some financial assistance to get to camp, whether it's $10 or hundreds of dollars.
Okay.
We really want to kind of encourage people to get to our facility and to explore all that there is to explore.
Now, do you have a shorter camp time or a one-day experience for young kids for first time?
We do what we call our tri-camp session, and that's for kids who are just completing kindergarten through 4th grade, and it's a 3-day, 2-night opportunity. We actually do 2 back-to-back, and that way the kids who have never been away from home before have an opportunity to do so. The reality is we keep our campers so busy those 3 days. We pretty much jam-pack an entire week's worth of activities into 3 days. That there's no time to get
homesick.
to get homesick. And those few times that are, they're pretty much out within minutes of hitting the mattress. So
well, that's good.
Yeah. And we have some more programs for our elementary age, so kind of 3rd grade up through 5th grade, be it a creative arts camp or a classic elementary camp, fishing camp, which we find both boys and girls alike enjoy fishing, and is a great fun. Sometimes the girls are more comfortable with picking up the fish and the worms than some of the boys. And last year, one of our smallest campers caught the biggest fish first thing. It was a great time. And we also do a music program that kind of encompasses a variety of ages, 5th grade on up through 12th grade.
Okay.
We also have opportunities for individuals in junior high. So anyone 6th through 8th grade, we do a jam camp, which we try to jam pack as much in there, and the campers have a choice as to what they get to do during the week. We offer outpost camp for that age range, where they go up to our outpost spot on camp, one of the highest points in the county, and they set up tents and dig their own latrines and cook their own food and kind of live rustically for a week. And we also have classic junior high camp, and trying to think of all the other great programs off the top of my head.
So, I mean, there's really something for everybody. It's not
there is something for all ages.
Right. Okay.
And we also do some family opportunities too. So coming up Memorial Day weekend, we have our annual Spring Fling, which is for families who want to stay in Riley Lodge, one of our retreat facilities, and have all their food cared for, or if they want to stay in one of our cabins and cook their own food, or if they want to live real rustically and bring their own tent or trailer, we have a family campground area in which they can stay and cook their own food and have a great laid-back time. And similar program over Labor Day weekend for families.
Now, when most of camps start right after school is over with. Now, how do you, as far as staffing, I'm assuming you hire additional people there to help?
We do. We hire a core staff of college-age students to be our kitchen helpers, our lifeguards, our counselors, and some of our program assistants. And then we also supplement that with a number of volunteer directors who oversee the leadership of each session of camp. And we also recruit a number of volunteer counselors who come in for 1 or 2 weeks throughout the summer. They all receive abuse prevention training and some basic kind of leadership skills training, so that parents can rest easy knowing that their kids are in an environment that encourages some leaps of faith, but leaps of faith in a safe manner.
Now, as far as, I'm assuming a lot of the adults that come in and volunteer are probably pastors or just...
We get a number of pastors and laypersons who are just passionate about sharing their faith and sharing their love of God's creation with a variety of ages.
Okay. So, and then, now if somebody is interested in volunteering, they can just call and they probably go through like an interview process or whatever?
We do have an application process, and which does require some reference checks and a background check, that sort of thing, to make sure that individuals that we might not already know are indeed safe. The reality is most of our volunteers are long-term volunteers, so they come back year after year after year, which makes it comforting for us.
And I'm quite sure they have a following too that...
Yes, we have what we jokingly call some of our camps the cult camps, because they develop a following that campers want to come back to year after year after year. And I was a product of Junie Ely's cult camp. We use that term affectionately because we don't encourage cult-like stuff, but that sense of belonging is so vital. And that's one of the things that camp does best, is build a community in which individuals can grow in their independence, and also kind of a sense of who they are as children of God, and better than almost any other youth-serving organization out there. We partner with local churches so that we can strengthen them through strengthened youth and young adults.
Okay. Now I know, because I've been up there quite often, if for people who haven't been, I mean, the camp is open year-round. I mean, so you could drive up there on a weekend and just, there's walking trails.
We have a number of hiking trails, one that goes around our lake, which is about a mile, and then we have a variety of other trails from which to choose. Last year we instituted a 5K walk and run on our trails to raise money for our campership fund, which was really well received, and we're looking forward to doing that again in the first weekend in October. The only time of year that we allow running on our trails for safety reasons. It was really hard for those of us who are used to asking campers to walk please, to encourage people to run on the trails. Fortunately, we had partnered with the Windsor EMS, so they were on site, and they weren't needed at all day. So we were very grateful for that.
Okay. Now, in the fall and winter months, you're not shut down, so you have a variety of different things going on.
Yeah, we have a lot of church organizations and civic organizations that come up and use us. We also do a few retreats for adults. Our popular Ladies of the Lake experience, the second weekend in October, has led to also a spring version of that, and we're proud to announce that this coming September we'll actually have a guy's version of that called Fellows of the Forest, where we'll get outside and just enjoy some activities out there and some fellowship time. That those opportunities to just be with other Christians is really important, we find. We also do a number of kind of spiritual development opportunities, but that opportunity for fellowship is really incredible.
Now, I guess I know I've heard Jenna talk about you've had weddings up there, and so I mean, you really kind of, if there's nothing going on, you're open to having a wedding at Sky Lake and actually doing the reception there, I guess?
Yep. We are a dry facility. Our denomination is a dry denomination, but we find that a lot of couples are wanting that sort of thing. And so we can kind of transform Founders Dining Hall into a wedding reception. We have limited opportunities for that, but it's when they open up, they're well received. So
that's good. I mean, it's nice. I mean, I think if people get a chance just to go up there, it's something that you're going to want to go back, because you just get, I think, overwhelmed by the beauty, and then you look at the buildings and the cabins and everything, and it's just so neat. And I know why the kids love going there. just seeing what goes on all the time. So I think it's important if people have, especially now that the weather is beginning to break, take a drive up there and just walk around, see what it's like, and you'll want to go back. I know that.
We just ask that if you kind of arrive unannounced, if you would stop by our office and let us know that you're there, and we can welcome you and give you a trail map.
Okay. Now, is there someone usually in the office 7 days a week?
We're there Monday through Friday, but on the weekends we're also kind of on call. So if anyone needs us, we're available.
Okay. So I encourage anybody that take the time, on a Sunday afternoon or a Saturday afternoon and drive up. Just
absolutely. And we also allow fishing in our lake from the shoreline, as long as people have the appropriate licenses to do so. Not that we stock our lake or anything, but it's just that kind of calming effect. And we really encourage people to get outside.
Right.
If you followed our Facebook page during Lent, you saw that Harvey the hippo, our kind of unofficial, official mascot of Sky Lake, did a photo a day project where Harvey got outside every day during Lent to kind of encourage others to do the same. There's just something about getting your hands dirty and covered in mud that connects us with our Creator, who, as Scripture tells us, formed us from dust. And so that ability to get out there, and there's such restorative nature to nature, the calming effect that it has for individuals with some attention deficit disorders, that ability to focus after time spent outside. It's really, really great, and it's something that we do really well, I think.
That's good. I mean, it's like, for those of you, definitely if you want to pick up the phone and call Sky Lake, get the brochure. All the camps are listed in there.
They are.
Pricing systems listed in there. General information. It's a great way to learn about the camp. And now, is there a deadline for registering, or can you register right up until the last minute?
We accept registrations as long as a program is open.
Okay.
So don't hesitate to call us, and you can also register for camp online. So if you give us a call at 607-467-2750, we're always happy to take phone calls and to send out brochures and to answer any questions anyone might have.
So the website's the information at skylake.org?
skylakecenter.org.
Okay, skylakecenter.org. You can get on that, and you get all the information on the camps and the forms and everything. So,
and you can also, from there, also learn about our other camp and retreat facilities in Upper New York.
Okay. Now, do I assume people? No, I guess I'll go back. Are people in Pennsylvania? We're talking about Upper New York, but
Well, our history is that we were founded by the former Wyoming Conference, which went from Cooperstown down to Wilkes-Barre area. And so with the uniting of the Upper New York Annual Conference, our Pennsylvania sisters and brothers went with the Susquehanna Conference. But we're always pleased to tell folks that no one is checking passports at the border with Pennsylvania, that we have that historical connection, and that we as a camp of the United Methodist Church, we still appreciate and welcome those from our historical connections. So we have a lot of families and campers who still visit us from Pennsylvania, so don't let a state border get in your way.
Okay. I guess as we're getting close to our time, I just want to kind of re-highlight Workday.
So this coming Saturday, starting at 8:30, come join us for our volunteer Workday. It's a great opportunity to help us clean up and get the place looking fantastic, even more so than it normally is. We do ask that you give us a call or email us to let us know that you're coming, so we have enough food. Although Kevin, I think, has some sort of magic wand back there that will just kind of...
It seems like there's always plenty of food.
There is always plenty of food.
Never went away hungry, so...
No. And we encourage some healthy eating that weekend too.
Yeah.
And then coming up on Sunday, May 18th, starting at 1:30, is our annual open house. Come visit us, kind of meet some of the staff and leaders, do some of our favorite activities, including making homemade ice cream, one of our favorite summertime activities to do. We have some campers who have been thoroughly impressed that you can make your own ice cream with the old hand-cranked freezers.
Okay. Now, one other thing, I know on the brochure, it talks about the second Sundays at Sky Lake. Maybe explain a little bit about that.
Well, those were kind of an outcropping of our Worship Wednesdays. Okay. Every Wednesday during the summertime, we gather all the campers who are at camp that week, and we do a special worship night together, hopefully outside, weather permitting, and then we have just a really unique style of worshiping. And then we decided, hey, you know, we enjoyed this so much, let's do this Sundays during the year. Okay. So we're going to start back up in October, and it's literally the second Sunday of every month, usually at 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock. We do some icebreakers, some games, or another activity for the youth. Most months we also have an opportunity to meet with some of the adult advisors to do some training with them. Then we come back together for a snack, and we end with worship together, which is always a good experience.
Yeah, sounds great.
So it's a kind of 2 hours, an easy way to get your youth group connected to Sky Lake, and Sky Lake to connect with youth groups.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Matt, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to drive down today for the show and everything, and encourage everybody to pick up the phone or get on the computer and get the information on Sky Lake.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having us, and we hope that all of you out there will come and connect with us and connect with God's creation and ultimately with God through those experiences. So look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.